Hello. This is the energy report for June 6th, 2023. So the sun is in the fifth line of gate 35, experience or progress. And so the key word here is altruism. And so remember that fifth line is that heretic line, right? Wanting to be the knight in shining armor, coming in and really helping society, saving society, seeing where we need to make that shift for the greater good. And so it's the sacrifice of personal for communal progress. The principles of interaction and harmony communicated successfully for the benefit of the whole. The progressive communication that can bring beneficial change for the whole. With Jupiter in detriment, through altruistic and cooperative in general, a personal regret and an interaction with a greater personal expansion has been lost. Progressive communication, but always the sense that personal progress has been sacrificed. And so really learning how can we find that balance? How can we still look after the greater good of the whole, but not feel this bitterness, this resentment if we had to sacrifice a little bit of our personal power, and how can we learn to set that ego aside and also see that it could be temporary. It's just a temporary thing, maybe, that we are stepping aside, and so that we can build this next foundation so that we have more opportunity for our personal power to then come back, right? And so really looking at more of the bigger picture of things when we're talking about something like this, so that it's a little easier to drop the ego if we can kind of zoom out and come from that perspective. And so we get gate 37, we get peace coming from our solar plexus and going into the heart. And so this is right next to the channel 35 going up. Well, 35 is in our throat, but it is connected to the solar plexus. And so really looking at peace, harmony, finding that piece of sometimes that we need to let go of our personal struggle so that we can again have that benefit for the whole. And so how can we really come to peace with that, find that peace so that we don't harbor resentment or bitterness or anger because we might feel like we are missing out on that personal experience. And so how can we look within ourselves, let go of possible expectations, also release any kind of expectations or that control, and knowing that it's going to unfold the way and exactly how it exactly needs to unfold. And so sometimes finding that peace truly is leaning into surrender and learning how we can trust that we are listening to our soul. We're listening to our authority on going after and supporting the greater good so that in the end, we can then come back to our own personal power. And so it's that kind of full circle coming back around, that every now and again, we have to step outside of ourselves to build that foundation. And when we can kind of lean into the ebb and the flow and the kind of cycle that these things come into, and knowing that it's just a cycle, and knowing that it's temporary, and knowing that change is the only inevitable thing that is consistent. And so here's to one change, but that's going to shift to another change, which might be one that you like a little bit better. And we get the goddess Kali in reverse, which is interesting because Kali is the goddess or goddess of destruction. And but in that reverse, maybe doing it in more of a peaceful way. And so let's see what the author has to say about Kali. I'm really leaning into, though, that we want to make sure that we're doing this change, we're doing this shift, we're doing this progress, looking at the greater good of the whole in a way that is in a peaceful and understanding way. And so it is asking us, though, to look in the mirror to what is it that you are afraid to see. We all have parts of us that are less than perfect, but they can only be brought into the light through acknowledgement. Recognize those shadows, why they came to be, the purpose they once had, and how they are no longer needed. Write down the limiting beliefs that are you holding on to that are preventing you from reaching your higher truth, and burn them into the flames. Shake your body, scream, clear your house, let go of stale relationships, practice self-pleasure. Free the parts of you that have been suppressed and step into your wild nature to experience Callie's enlightenment. And so, like I said, what are the ways that we can bring on this peace, right? And bring on these peace by letting go, by releasing. And so doing whatever you need. Do you need to shake your body, scream, clear? How can you let go of that control, let go of whatever you feel like you need to hold on to that now is not serving you anymore for your greatest good? And so releasing that so that we can have this progress, not only for ourselves, but also for their greater good. Sending you all so much love.